Emma, what's the best thing about Dad?
You know, my dad had 6 kids, and I have 7. So between the 2 of us, that would be 15 to carry the one.
He's funny.
My dad.
My dad.
My dad.
My amazing dad. So a great dad moment.
Being a dad is one of the craziest jobs you'll ever have in your entire life.
I'm a big fan of celebrating Father's Day like we do it here in America.
New dad myself, and I think I hear him crying from the other room.
My dad was super intelligent, very handsome, and passed down the best genes of both.
My father was a humanitarian.
One of the things my dad did that stuck with me is that he kept an eye on everyone. If he saw somebody struggling, he just jumped right in.
We were living in Poland under the communism.
I was 14 years old, and my dad said, "Baby, I don't care if the person who you love is purple, as long as he's making you smile." And that was wonderful. That's all I needed to hear.
He was a carpenter, so obviously he had carpenter friends. And I can't count how many times he would take a day off just to go help another guy that he knew was struggling financially. He'd just pull his crew together and go work for free. I couldn't wrap my head around that when I was young. I mean, we didn't have much, so why the hell was he out there working for free? But I get it now.
He worked in Africa for free for 50 years to create hospitals, clean ways of delivering children without infecting them. He delivered 2,000 babies in the bush before anybody even cared about Africa. He was given the Humanitarian Award in the United States by President Reagan.
He was really smart, really funny, very creative, created his own games all the time that we would play. He would write a lot, he was a poet, he often wrote to us, and I'm so grateful to still have those letters today.
We couldn't travel much abroad. What my dad did, we had the globe at home. We sit together. When I was little, like let's say I had 5, 6, 7 years, he asked me to close my eyes, turn the globe around, and point with my finger one place on the globe. And like this, we traveled the world. One day I pointed USA, Florida, and I look at my dad and I said, "Dad, you know what? One day I'm gonna travel there. You know what? I'm gonna live there." Fast forward, probably like 20 years later. In fact, yes, I was living in the United States and I was living in Miami.
I really didn't get to see my dad a lot because he was always somewhere else. He came home from Africa very sick when he was older, and I was his caretaker. And he was so humble. He was the most humble human being I've ever met. I hope to step up to the plate and wear his shoes and be the next person to pass on his love.
This tree behind me is one that we planted when we found out that he passed. So in his memory, I'm so glad I could be here today to share this with you guys, to share his legacy of what he instilled in my heart, what I carry with me every single day, and what my whole family holds to be true from his existence on this planet. We couldn't be more grateful.
That little bug of the travel was implemented in me by my dad. That little story with the globe is something that could be so insignificant for one person, but had big impact on me.
I want to talk a little bit about, actually I think is one of the most unspoken parts of becoming a new dad, which is the worry over how you're going to do at it.
He's the first person I call for advice on absolutely anything, and whose opinion I value dearly, even when he's wrong. He's my voice of reason. He keeps me sane when I'm a little insane. He always puts his family first. He's always there for me, always ready to fight for me, and has my back in any situation.
Was I going to feel the way that I need to feel in order to love the kid, to draw on that reserve, that strength, so that you can do the things you have to do at 2 a.m. in the morning when you're exhausted? And I didn't know if I was going to have it. And everybody who tells you, yeah, you're going to have it, it's going to be great, you're going to see the kid, you're going to fall in love, you're going to think everything he does is adorable. All I said was, I sure hope you're right. I want people to know that that's the way it starts. It's hard, you don't always know. I shared that with my dad, and he said, oh yeah, I felt exactly the same way.
The best lesson my dad ever taught me was that anything, and I mean absolutely anything, can fit into the trunk of a Toyota Camry.
You'll wake up early in the morning, you'll stay up late for them, and you will work out in the hot, hot sun to do stuff for your kids.
I think that's one of the greatest things about being a dad is you have the ability to affect the world by putting good people in it. And I think that's a hell of a legacy to leave behind.
Happy Father's Day.
Heart out to my dad in heaven.
I love you, Papichka. Happy Father's Day.
Thanks, Dad.